was your dream?
My love of cricket happened at a very young age. Of cricketers when I was at that age, the invincible team that we had with Ricky Ponting, Damien Martin, Justin Lang and Matthew Hayden, Glenn McGrath, Jason Gillespie.
So what did you enjoy most about the cricket?
I had cricket as part of my life ever since I was sort of 4 or 5 years old. So
what inspired you to choose USA as a launchpad of Century Cricket Centre?
If you told me that I'd be bringing my business to America, I would have thought you'd be crazy because it's baseball, it's basketball, it's everything else. But
Joel, how important is technology in cricket today?
A parent, father, mother, guardian, whoever it is, grandparent, whoever, can take their child down, get it all set up and press go. But even on that far, the kid can do it when they are. The evolution of cricket, if more so than any other sport, is a lot different. We've gone from traditional 5-day test cricket that had whites and a red ball. We've included lights, we've included colours, we've included different formats. We are continually evolving the game in certain areas where a lot of other traditional sports, they don't do that.
Use of too much technology takes away the human or emotional factor from the game. Why did you leave? You were doing good on that time. Thank you so much for coming to Safarnama with Shilpi. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you very much for having me and really appreciative. Looking forward to having a chat.
Joel, before we jump into this, to talk about Century Cricket Centre, I would love to know your interest, how cricket came to you.
Yeah, so like most, I think, cricket people in Australia or whatever, it's one of Australia's biggest pastimes, summer pastimes. So I have been involved and had cricket as part of my life ever since I was sort of 4 or 5 years old. So I've got an older brother. He's 10 years older than me. He was a cricketer. He played cricket. So naturally, as your big brother, you sort of want to try to do what he does, and he needs someone to play with in the backyard. So I ended up having to bowl to him and all of that sort of stuff. I had a connection with cricket at a very sort of young age, both within our family, and just sort of fell in love with that. He was coaching me when I was young. He'd sort of coached me in the junior clubs and everything like that that we played for in Brisbane. So yeah, my love of cricket happened at a very young age. And as we said, even more so back then, probably as well as now, it was part of mostly every family's fabric. Cricket, summertime, you'd watch the games, you'd watch television, and you'd enjoy the spectacle of that.
So what did you enjoy most about the cricket?
In terms of playing and being there, I think I loved just running around and bowling, but I also just loved just being around the place. Like, as a 6 or 7 year old little brat trying to annoy my older brother who was sort of 17, 18, just being there and watching, and that's probably, as we said, that's how most of our kids' life was. We'd drive around with my brother playing games and my sister and me would be following because I was 6, 7 years old and there was nothing else I could do. I couldn't stay at home. So, I'd just start playing. And as I said, that was the key component. And I think the love of it came from that. And then obviously watching it and following some of my heroes and everything like that. We had a pretty good, I guess, dynasty of cricketers when I was at that age. The invincible team that we had with Ricky Ponting, Damien Martin, Justin Lang and Matthew Hayden, Glenn McGrath, Jason Gillespie, all those sorts of guys, plus so many other players that weren't in the Australian team full-time but were from Queensland, which was the state that I lived in. We just had so many great players. It was just great to watch.
Wow. So at that time, did you think, like when I was 8-year-old, I was like, I would like to become a doctor. I would like to become, And so what was your dream?
Yeah, it's sort of hard. I think most people sort of have the dream, I want to play cricket for Australia or whatever. And that was definitely there. Would I say that I was an early achiever, really skilled and talented cricketer? that was making all of the representative teams at a young age of 11, 12, 13. No. My dream was to play cricket and play as high as I can, and I did sort of get a decent level along. Was mixed in with some professional clubs and played sort of within those high-performance systems. But at that age, I just wanted to play cricket for Australia like everyone did, but I didn't also necessarily get into all those representative teams at that age. I was quite a late bloomer when it came to that.
Why did you leave? You were doing good on that time.
So. Yeah, it was probably more a bit of everything. Like a late developer. I grew up and I shot up in height and everything like that. So being quite a tall kid also comes with some uncoordinated sort of aspects of being a little bit growing into your body and things like that. But as I said, I made one rep team in my whole junior career before I sort of got to the age of 17, and then that's when I sort of started to go through the ranks a little bit more and play a lot higher level than what I did. I'd always played a good level of cricket for the age, but I was never the best kid in my age group or anything like that. And then as I got to adulthood and I sort of started to get a lot stronger, spent more time on my fitness and my skill sets and everything, just continued to grow with that, but was never the best in my age group, was never the best in my region, was never, touted as a junior cricket gun. I sort of worked hard to try and get to that level. Yeah.
So, Joel, you're from Australia.
I am.
I am from India.
Yeah.
And, both countries love that sport, but two countries where cricket is the dominant sport.
Yes. Yep.
We are recording this podcast in USA, where cricket is emerging.
Yeah.
What inspired you to choose USA as a launchpad of Century Cricket Centre?
Yeah, I think the beauty of the modern day is people travel around everywhere. The beauty of that multiculturalism in different countries is people are coming from all sorts of different backgrounds. You're coming from India, I'm coming from Australia. Work brings you here, whatever it does, it brings you here. And the ability to engage within a sport that everyone loves is not always an opportunity in different countries. There's backgrounds around the sport's not played here regularly or whatever. And we have and had started our business in Australia, and we've got some facilities. But what we saw here was a really big opportunity to be able to give back to the cricket community and help grow the game in a developing country. And that's part of the reason why I think we saw the opportunity was the fact that there is, and if you'd asked me 2 years ago before we started looking into the North America expansion, if as a person who was involved in cricket in Australia, who owns businesses and runs business in Australia from a cricket point of view, if you told me that I'd be bringing my business or bringing a business with other people that I have to America, I would have thought you'd be crazy because it's baseball, it's basketball, it's everything else. But the fact that with the South Asian community and diaspora, but also the Caribbean, the Australian expats, the New Zealand, every cricket playing nation, there is quite a lot of people here that are coming to play and want to play cricket. They're coming from these different countries and these different, communities, and that's part of their life, as we've spoken about. Yeah. Our big opportunity here and what we saw was the fact that we wanted to help grow the grassroots and build some infrastructure for people. And from what we've heard a lot of stories is there are facilities that get built and everything like that, but it's not to the scale that people probably would want. There's everyone crying out for more facilities, more grounds, more opportunities to train, more places to play. And that's what I hear, not just, in Houston, but all through North America, in heavy South Asian, expat cricket communities that people love cricket from Australia to wherever. If they had more facilities, there'd be more people playing cricket. And that's the really interesting component. So from our point of view, it's really about helping cricket grow in this North American, America and Canada to grow and be able to provide the resources for people and infrastructure for people to actually engage and play the game that they love, that they may have had to leave behind a little bit when they've left their homeland.
Yeah. So did you see any emerging trend or need here specific
In
for,
Houston
yes,
specifically?
specifically.
Reason why we sort of came through to Houston is probably twofold. One of the partners that we've brought on and we work with is a local Texan sort of cricket community. They've got it's called Kingsman Sport and Entertainment Group. So they're very engaged in this local sort of Houston community, also through Dallas and Chicago as well. But Fawad, who's one of the founders of Kingsman and involved in that group, he has a very strong passion of bringing people to here, and he's playing games and playing for these teams and everything like that. So we had an established network here when we partnered and worked together and became partners with Kingsman on this opportunity to bring Century Cricket Centres to North America. So that was one part of it, but the other part of it was there is such a huge diverse community, but there is such a large cricket community.
Yes.
And if you ask a lot of people all through North America, it's like Houston is one of the hotbeds of cricket. Yeah. So from our point of view, strategically, it worked because we've obviously got those relationships here within Kingsman, and they're very, very entrenched here, and we love working with those guys, and we're very appreciative of the partnership that we have. And then from the other point of view, it was just it's cricket, Cricket Central nearly here in the US. It's one of the main hotbeds of cricket. So what a better way to launch in the USA, but to bring it to a community that is starving for more cricket, that has a huge population of people that are playing. I think speaking to the guys at Houston Cricket League, there's over 5,000 people that they've got involved in their cricket competitions and everything. So it's quite a large community that we would love to help develop and engage with.
You already mentioned Kingsman, that you are already collaborating with them. Yep. You are with them, right?
Yes, they're fully they're partners with us and everything like that. Yeah.
So apart from Kingsman, are you planning to collaborate with any schools or any youth clubs so that to reach the ground level?
Yeah, I think naturally that's always going to develop, I think. And once we establish our roots and get our facility rolling and moving and those memberships, I think always engaging in that local community within our cricket community is the key part. I think trying to establish that relationship in the cricket community first and foremost is the most powerful thing, because if you engage within that particular community which you're coming to do, I think naturally that will then grow into generalized, wider spread interest within that. Our biggest thing here is we need to still make sure that our facilities are opening and operational. So we need to service the cricketers within the community first.
Yeah.
But if we create an environment where they loved coming here and they love to play, then I think naturally through the growth of cricket and engagement here, but also cricket through the country, other people are going to get eyeballs on that. And we've even had it now, like the centre we've built and fitting out, we've got the tech guys and we've got the cabling people all involved, and they haven't heard much about cricket. The contractors, and they're playing and learning a little bit more about it. So I think the presence of more infrastructure within the community actually builds more awareness to that as well. And so we will definitely over time look to engage within those sort of school communities and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, if we think about 6 to 12 months ahead, so what are your plans for expansions with you're already with Kingsman and you're looking ahead for the schools and all, but are you planning to make collaborating with other leagues as well?
I mean, we're always our biggest thing is about being agnostic.
Or any tournament you're planning to hosting at Century Cricket?
Yeah, so the model within our facility is basically membership based. So it's really hard to sort of run tournaments and leagues in that component from a competition point of view. What we see ourselves as a facility is providing those people who are engaged in the cricket leagues and tournaments and everything like that, giving them a place to come and further develop their skill set. So providing elite level software, facilities, infrastructure, technology to give those people who are wanting more, who want to play cricket, the opportunity to actually go and develop their game. And it's not just for the best of the best that sometimes all of this technology is reserved for, because that's all it's accessible for. We're about trying to provide access to the whole cricket community. So In terms of expansion, absolutely, we will be expanding into different states and everything like that, different communities. But as we said, we're almost seen as an opportunity for cricket people to come no matter where we are. So if we drop a centre in Dallas or in Chicago or New York or New Jersey or wherever, we want to serve the whole cricket community, if that makes sense. So rather than just sort of going, oh, we're going to go to particularly with one person, it's about just going, this is what we've built, and we've built it for everyone in the cricket community.
Right.
Yeah.
So in Century Cricket Centre, there is 24/7 access.
Yeah.
Which is great for
cool.
Sports.
Yeah.
For the cricketers.
Yeah.
So did you see any any trend like late night? People are coming.
Yeah. So
late night trainings and weekends.
It's
plans.
crazy. Yeah. So as we said, this is our North American expansion. So we've established our business in Australia. We're an Australian-based business as well, and the beauty of what we had the ability to do was look at how does a model like this that is in a different environment come to something like this, like cricket. Will people pay a membership? Will they train 24/7 and all of that? And we actually had that ability to test that in our Australian market before we brought it to here. And I think given that over there, yes, we have people training at 2 a.m. in the morning. We have people hitting balls that have finished night shift that, are here at 3 a.m. before they want to go to bed for 8 hours. They want to come and get their cricket fix because those night shift workers don't necessarily have the ability to come and play their games of cricket or train or anything like that. Same thing, young dads who professionally are working might not have the ability to come and train for their club or whatever, put their children to bed at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and then they can come down and have a hit at 9:30 before they have to go to bed themselves, sort of thing. So there's all sorts of components that really do match to it's the lifestyle support of what we do. We've created that environment where you can get your cricket training fix no matter what time works for you. And traditionally, having facilities that are open just within staff time and it's only open till 10 o'clock, it's very rigid in that fact where we have the ability for the adaptability and flexibility. And that's one of our big, flexible memberships that suit you. When do you want to train? If you want to train at 4 a.m, go nuts. You can. Where we've created that infrastructure and the technology that will enable people to be able to do that.
So, Joel, how important is technology in cricket today?
I think very important. I think traditionally, as I said, in the elite sectors, we do really, really well from a broadcasting and, high level community. I mean, you see Hawkeye, you see all these, fancy bits of technology that are used in the broadcast and everything like that to enhance and enable your viewing. The one thing I think that we're doing quite well, but I still think there's a lot of room for growth is for the mass adoption of use of technology in generalized grassroots community cricket and everything like that. There's stuff there, don't get me wrong, and people are doing great work. And I think the movement of that technology is moving forward. So as that continues to develop, you'll find that more and more people will be adapting it, but adopting it as well. But I think, you look at the golf industry. I don't know if you've ever seen sort of like the amount of technology and TrackMan and tracers and all this sort of stuff that you can access at a driving range or Top Golf or anything like that. It's being able to sort of engage in that. And I think that's where in cricket, we're not as up to date with those components. I think, as we said, if you're splitting technology into different parts, broadcasting, high performance, everything like that, I think we do a great job and there's a lot there. For the general community consumption, that's where there's not as much. And that's what we're really focusing on and creating from our branding and business point of view. You walk into the facility, and I know you saw bits of it. Even then, we'd still not fully finalised it all. We still haven't opened. That was just an open day for people to look. From the moment you sign up to become a member to sitting back down on your couch at the end of it and being able to review all of your videos and getting AI coaching tools to say, this is what I think you should be doing next time. And here's all the data that you can assess. People then get all of that information and then they can choose what they wish to do with that. And I think that personalization around technology is a really, really interesting component that we're sort of helping to develop long term with our, technology partners that we've got involved. That's something that I think will continue to, if cricket continues to evolve, well, we've been very, the evolution of cricket, if more so than any other sport, is a lot different. We've gone from traditional 5-day test cricket that had whites and a red ball. We've included lights, we've included colours, we've included different formats. We are continually evolving the game in certain areas where a lot of other traditional sports or sports that aren't as probably forward thinking, they don't do that. They don't change their rules. They don't change their formats, where we've revolved around sort of evolving that part of cricket and the technology components in broadcast. So I don't think we're ultra stuck in our own ways, but we are traditionalists, but we have, to our credit, revolutionised and changed the way cricket is played for people and consumed. And I think now we're sort of catching up from a technology for general consumption. As I said, elite and broadcast, I think we're doing great, but yeah.
So if you had access of this kind of technology as a kid, what would you have do differently?
I think, it's a pretty good question. I'm not too much of a dinosaur, but I'm getting older, and back in my day now, I can say back in my day, but it was an old cricket ball that had been bowled for 500 overs up to a net that's full of chains that'll just ruin your ball and everything. And that's all we did. And that's all we did for 5 hours straight. It was just run down the nets and just bowl and bowl and bowl for me. Yes. Or it was bat and bat and bat, or do both of everything.
That's correct.
Whereas the beauty of what we do now have is you've got that element of self-analytics, self-analyzing, not in terms of an over correction or anything like that, but for example, spitting out video footage and replay footage of how far the ball's gone. Is it gone in the air? That age-old, I've creamed that for 4 in the nets, and the person who's bowling going, no, that was out. Oh, it was waist high. It was straight to cover. Like that little argument and conversation. And, even just that element of seeing and having what we call from a coaching science perspective, knowledge of results. So you know exactly where that is. So the challenge around training in a cricket environment is you're training in the nets. You hit the ball into the net and it stops, so you don't know where it goes. Yeah. So from a batter's point of view, you can sit there and see, okay, well, I've just hit that to the circle in the air, chest high. Well, what do I need to do to change that to try and hit the ball along the ground? Or depending on the age and the skill level, going even further and going, okay, well, what's my release point? And what degree is my, am I making contact with the ball, and what's my velocity speed externally and all? So there's different levels that you can go. And I think from a tech point of view, that actually will help kids self-train and self-develop, but it also give coaches the opportunity to sort of give that feedback to kids. And even from a bowling point of view, I would have been able to see where the ball's pitching, how fast it is, if it's swinging or whatever, and make my own micro adjustments at the end of the mark when I see that and go, okay, well, it was a bit too wide. Why was it wide? Oh, well, I swung the ball too far, or whatever I need to do, and I can make those adjustments. And it's being able to provide that knowledge of results to the player.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And this is good for parents as well.
Absolutely.
They don't need to do bowling.
No shoulder reconstructions. My dad, as I said, what would you have liked about this as a kid? I guarantee you my dad would have been pretty happy because he didn't have to run and chase after balls all the time. So, from a parent's point of view, anyone, you don't have to be a cricket lover, a cricket coach, like a parent, father, mother, guardian, whoever it is, grandparent, whoever, can take their child down, press the buttons, get it all set up and press go. But even on that far, the kid can do it when they are at home. So when they're sitting on the couch, they can get onto their app and go, I want to plan my session for tomorrow for 45 minutes. This is what I want to do. And I drag and drop it and I press play, and it's all done from before they even get there.
So how the app manages the ball speed?
Yeah, so that's above my pay grade even. So we've got obviously the developers and people who've developed our technology, guys at Stance Beam. We've got a great relationship, and Straight Drive, we're really close partners with them. We love what we're doing with them. They've built their own, our own, we've built together a lot of technology that helps control that. So the ability for you to literally just sit there on your tablet and go, I want to bowl the ball at 140 kilometers an hour or 100 kilometers or 60 mile or whatever we want to do. And this is where I want it to pitch and this is how much I want it to swing. And it automatically just talks to the machine straight away.
So this is for kids as well. I mean, that's what my
Yeah.
purpose to ask, because, you know, I'm being a mom of 9-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm like pretty free.
Yeah.
That my kid will be safe if the
and
ball is
we've got a
coming
lot of
on.
those components. You know, the technology aspect that we have as well gives us the safety mechanisms to put in place as well. So kids won't have to face the ball at 140 and just press the button. You know what I mean? There is the element of control that we have from a safety point of view too. Yeah.
Can you tell a bit about the bowling machine? Apart from all the security, like from where you got this machine and, you know, how you guys are auditing the machine periodically.
Yeah, so I mean, we can't give away too many trade secrets because we've actually developed that as patented technology, and we're not sure who else is sort of out there. But from our point of view, the biggest thing that we've worked with is that our manufacturer is based in India, but we work really closely with them. So they provide the machines and we then provide a lot of the technology that plugs into those machines. We have the ability to, as we mentioned, control speed, swing, spin, everything like that from there. So all in our centres is all done behind a wall which people can't access. So again, from a safety point of view, it's all done from the tablet, and that's the cool thing about it.
So there is some bat sensors as well.
Yep.
What's that?
So that's a Stance Beam product. So we work with a technological partner called Stance Beam. So they've developed their own bat sensor, which actually pulls out a lot of the bat data. So swing speed, power, exit velocity, bat angles, all of these cool things that they've got as a product. We've actually worked with them to implement into our system. So every member at the centre will have their own little sensor that they put on the top of their bat, just on their grip, and does not affect the weight or anything of the bat, and they will get all real-time data pushed back to our system. They'll see it on the screen. They'll see some of it on the screen, on the LED screen that we've developed, but also after the session, you'll be able to go back on your app and take you through the whole session, and it'll link your videos. It'll link with this particular video. This was your bat speed. This was your power, your exit velocity, your efficiency rating. This was the angle of your bat at contact. All these sorts of things that help us quantify and help develop the technology to be able to give feedback.
So Joel, can you please walk me through the technology part? If we think about, like, if I want to do any training session over there, so how we can use the technology to improve my game? Yeah,
I mean, it's stacked from start to finish. So we've got a whole host of technology that we've implemented. We've got multiple apps. So you've got a member app when you sign up. That's what you sign up, you pay your membership for. That's how you book your lane. You can book a coach on there. You can set up your bowling sessions. So when you're going into bat, you've got everything all ready to go to start. We've got lane apps that sort of help us be able to control the machine, as we've spoken about previously. So you can adjust speed, swing, spin, whatever you need to, and use the sessions that you've planned in your member app to then actually implement them into the system to be able to start, and both from a batting and bowling perspective. We've got ball tracking technology. So basically when you hit the ball, think of it as like a shot tracer or Top Golf. So you see it on a golfing, you see the ball, how far it's been hit. The ball actually traces where it's been and how many times it bounces and everything like that. So we have that as well. We've got a Stance Beam sensor that we're great partners and really keen to help with that as well. So the Stance Beam sensor sits on the top of your bat on there and spits out a whole heap of data about, ball speeds, efficiency, bat angles. I think it's 11 different data points from your swing that analyzes your swing and analyzes your where you hit the ball and your efficiency in hitting the ball, which obviously helps players be able to understand their swing mechanics and how fast they hit the ball and how efficiently they hit the ball. So that obviously adds to our experience of the technology, and that we've got that we work closely with Stance Beam. As we said, with the ball tracking from a bowling point of view, think of it as like when you watch it on TV and you see is it out LBW or not, and they go to the third umpire, that ball tracking technology, we actually use that in our centre. And it shows, it tracks speed, to 99.99% of accuracy in all of our metrics that we have. It's swing, spin, and ball placement. So we have the ability from a bowling point of view to actually track your performance and your consistency from there. We've got high definition cameras that we use to analyze all of these components and cut up your video footage. So as we said, it's not just sort of throwing in a little bit of technology. We've actually developed and worked on this for about 12 months, and we've got a test lab in Bangalore with our team that we've actually been testing and developing this in association with our tech partners to make sure we get this right to be able to then bring it out to our centres.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Joel, how do you see Century Cricket Centre is contributing in United States of America as a for the cricket?
Yep. I think from our point of view, like as I said, we're scaling this long term to be not just Houston, where we're aiming to open a lot of centres, as many centres as we can through North America. So we want to see this as being the facility of choice of people in America. So if we've got one in Houston, if we've got one in Dallas or Chicago or whatever, wherever these cricket communities are, they have the ability to come and use our technology, develop their skills, and be able to have access to a world-class facility in a country that might not be able to provide too many cricketing opportunities. But if they do, it's almost one of the best ones in the world to have, sort of thing. So what we like to sort of see going forward is we would love to be able to provide these centres and into local communities around America to be able to then go for the next 10 or 15 years, all of the kids that are playing or love cricket and are involved in their cricket communities will be training and learning off these centres. They'll be improving their skills, which then obviously will increase their skill set, their performance, and then hopefully improve the performance of cricket in America.
Yeah, in America, I mean, we can see that in 10 to 15 years, it will be changed. So what's your next plan? I mean, are you planning to open Century Cricket Centre, in any other state of USA?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our next plan is to make sure that we get Houston right and we do really well here, and we have people coming through and members, people buying memberships and using the facility and loving it. Obviously, our next plan is to expand into other markets and go there. All of those markets we won't reveal because we're still working on those and everything like that. But yeah, our aim is to sort of, the likes of Chicago's or your LA's, your New York's, your New Jersey's, your Texas's, or through Dallas and Austin and everything like that, San Fran, everywhere. So
you said your plan for the expansion, of course, and we are also looking forward to it. The more growth, the more cricket. So as a cricket fan, as you already said, okay, you're looking for some collaborations for in future. So are you planning to bring any cricketer in your cricket center? Because as a cricket fan, I would love to meet any cricketer.
Yeah, okay.
So that's
never say never. That's the plan. The thing that's really hard to sort of nail down or confirm is the schedules that these types of players have. We'll be doing as much work as we can, and we'll be trying as hard as we can to be able to sort of engage, those high performing and elite cricketers, because I think they can play a really big part in terms of what our product offers. What do we offer to the general community? Both from a engagement or ambassadors point of view, but also from a behind the scenes. How do we want this to look? What opportunities are we providing kids? How are we coaching kids? How are we, what I mean? So from our point of view, we would love to work with these sort of elite cricketers and people who are involved in this elite sector. Are we having conversations with people? Absolutely. Can we say too much? Not quite now, but from our point of view internally, we see a really big value add that certain players, the right type of player, no matter what country they're from, would be able to sort of contribute greatly to not only what we do, but what people experience in our community as well.
That's amazing.
Mm,
That's amazing.
exciting.
Yeah, this is exciting. Relying on technology is great since it helps you to be better. But do you think use of too much technology or such as advanced technologies takes away the human or emotional factor from the game?
Good. I think it's actually a really good topic and good question. I think the big thing that we're really conscious of is making sure that it's an additional part of it. It's not just solely focusing on technology and that's it. I think the art of coaching it gets magnified based on the skill level of the coach and their understanding of the game, but using the technology to be able to understand what they're looking for to then be able to give that information to the person, if that makes sense. So I think a reliability on technology solely is never going to be, I think, the mix of how things sort of move and progress forward. And it's sort of like, this whole AI component. I do not know all of the things. I'm not a technology person in the AI part, but from what if it's used to be able to support and supplement components, I think that's the real key. Not just a full-blooded sort of the system of coaching and everything and supporting and developing people will just get thrown out the window. You're using the technology to your advantage to be able to help you become better, to get the data, to then be able to go, what do we do with the data? I see something, or I've created an environment where I can have a video replay and it can identify certain areas, but it's then like, how do I use that information to be able to help players, sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So not fully just going, oh, well, that's the be all and end.
Yeah.
The technology is there to help aid and support the person, not just fully take over, I don't think. Yeah.
That's good. Joel, thank you so much for
No.
interesting and exciting conversation.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, I went to Century Cricket Center. I would
Yeah.
love to tell to my audience as well that this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is revolutionary.
Yeah.
And what I like the most is you are independently. You can practice.
Yeah.
You don't need someone.
Yeah.
I know it's a team sport, but sometimes you need to work on yourself only.
That's the best part. And
That's the best part of Century Cricket
trying
Center.
to ring up your friend to come and have a hit. Are you free? Oh, no, I've got work or I've got school or whatever. Well, you can come down and all the machines are all self-fed, so you can have the ability to come and train on your own, which is the best part.
Sometime I've seen lots of international matches, had to stop because of rain.
Yeah.
But
don't need to now.
With the Century Cricket Center, that's the best part.
Yeah.
You don't need to think about the weather. In fact, if we are in Texas and Texas weather is, how it is.
Yeah.
Today it is in 40s and tomorrow it will be, it can be in 80s.
Yeah.
There's a drastic change. So you can make your plans according to your convenience, not based on the weather.
Yes.
Because of the weather, sometime we had to cancel our plans and daylight savings. All these things here.
Train when you want, however you want.
Yes.
We call it cricket 100% of the time, and that's sort of how we sort of champion the whole concept. Is you can play cricket 100% of the time whenever you like, whatever works best.
Yeah. What the other thing I like about the Century Cricket Center is all the technology part.
Yeah.
The batting sensors.
Yeah.
The parent can manage it through the app.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else we want
it's
as a
pretty
parent?
cool. They throw the ball for you. They tell you everything to do. So all you can do is sit there and support. That's the best part.
Yes. Thank you so much, Joel, for all the insightful answers. I really like the way you spoke, the way you explain everything.
Yeah.
It will be very beneficial for me, for my audience, and for our community.
No, again, thank you so much for having me on. And like I said, we're here to help anyone we can in the cricket community. So we're really excited to sort of start our foray into Houston and everywhere else as well within the US.
Yes, I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You enjoyed it, and I hope your purpose has also solved.
Perfect. No, thank you very much for having me. It was great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.